Yo, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Street Coder Nate. And so today we're continuing actually the modern computer understanding and explanation. And so today we're getting into running programs. What do I mean by when I say, let's start up this program, let's run this program, let's execute this program? What is a program? Let's get into that today. And my iPad just got off the screen. So maybe add that right back onto the screen before we hop on. But yes, what is a program? And what, like, you keep hearing me say program, you keep hearing me say like somebody wrote this program and stored it in you. What do I mean by that? So this is what we're really about to discuss finally today. Programs. So here we go. Without further ado, programs. So, obviously, this is what I think of when I see a computer, a motherboard, battery, energy, all of that. Now, here is where it gets a little bit different. Okay, that's my main one. Here is when it gets a little bit different. Let me just go back a little. Right there, right? Okay, so what happens is, let's say we have all of these programs, we have these registers right here, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's say these registers, we're writing on the wrong side, and we say, let's say these registers have, let's say program 1, program 2, program 3, and so on and so forth. So these registers are storing different programs. Well, what are these programs? Well, let's hop back to a human. So this is computer storing programs. Humans. What do we store in our memory? If this hard drive is our long-term memory, so what are we storing in our long-term memory? In our long-term memory, we store memories. What is memories? Well, memories can be data, right? We can think of a time when we went to the store or something, and we could watch that. That data is almost like a video. It's a set of images over a time period, right? So we could think of that as a video in our head, and that's data, right? So we storing that data. But we also can store information on how to do things, like play basketball, like read a book, like walk, all of that. We also store that information. So not only are we storing data, we're storing instructions as well. And most of the time, we store our instructions in the data that connects to these instructions, kind of like in similar places, so that we can grab them real easily whenever we need to grab that information. And so that's kind of like what computers are doing. What is their data? Well, their data is just like images, videos, text, just like us, right? Like when we think about our memories, we see it in pictures, kind of like we see the image. When we think about that past event, we kind of see it, and the more you can see it, the clearer it gets, or the more you focus on it, the clearer it gets in your head. Almost becomes reality, for real, or is it reality? Okay, but so we have that data there, but also the actions, and the actions are the instructions that we can do. Well, computers, once again, store data, but now they also store actions. They also store instructions. Like this computer stores instructions. And those instructions are telling the computer what to do with this energy. Just like the instructions that we store tell us what to do with our energy, how to use our energy to perform a certain task. The instructions here are telling the energy, or is telling the computer what to do with the energy to complete a certain task. And that task is the program. The program are the instructions. It's the set of procedures, it's the set of commands that the energy has to follow in order to complete the task at hand. That is what a program is. And so you take those procedures and you can run those procedures. Who runs a procedure? What runs a procedure? Well, humans, when we run a procedure, we pretty much are thinking about what to do. Like the procedure. If my mom told me to go to the store and I was like, where the store at? She's like, up the street around the corner. Well, I'm going to follow those instructions, and I'm going to go up the street and I'm around the corner and I'm going to see the store. That is a procedure and a set of commands that I just followed. In a way, that is an algorithm. That is a program. And I could get that program to someone else and I could say, go up the street around the corner, go to the store. That's where the store is. And that person will use his energy to make his body go up the street and around the corner. That's exactly what the computer is doing. And the computer will say, take this energy, and instead of going up the street and around the corner, take this energy and go to the RAM, grab some data from the RAM, and then go to the display port and display that data onto the screen. Like, these are what these instructions are doing. And these instructions are programs. No matter if these instructions are little 3 instructions, print something to the screen, that's still a program that someone had to write, some instructions that someone had to write to the computer so that the computer could follow those instructions. So when I say today is about programs and like running a program, well, what is running a program? Well, what I want to show you real quick, I'm about to fire up Safari. I'm about to run Safari right here. At the bottom of my screen, you see my mouse is on Safari. And I'm about to click on that. And you about to see Safari bounce around, right? And bounce for a little bit. And then the data loaded up a little bit. And when you get a chance, like pause the video and see, like watch it slow down with the data, like when that screen just loaded, slow it down, see what just happened. But when it loaded, what happened was, it took a second for all this data to really populate. Let's see if I close this out and do it again. Right here, it kind of took a second again. It's like a slight second. All right, there you go. It's real slight, but in that slight second, like what is happening? So I clicked on that icon. For most of y'all, when y'all click on an icon, y'all just probably like, okay, I clicked on the icon, smooth. Like I'm gonna wait, and then the system going, or the app gonna show up. Well, you kind of need to understand what's happening in the background. Once again, that application, what is that application? That application is just a set of programs. It's a set of procedures. Well, when I double click on that icon, a set of procedures happen. And it says, okay, this user just double clicked the icon. There is a procedure that says if user double clicks icon, run this procedure. And there's like a signal that goes off. And so when that signal goes off, the set of procedures are ran. And when I say ran, like they're executed. So line by line, the procedures are happening. Do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, right? And so I double clicked on Safari, and the procedure that really happens is, we're telling the CPU, go load Safari from the SSD. Go to the SSD and grab me Safari. And what I need you to do is bring Safari from the SSD, and I need you to store that right here from my short-term memory, so that I know I'm about to interact with Safari, so I don't need to just keep always going back to my long-term memory and searching for it. That's gonna take too long. I need to bring it to my short-term memory and use it so that I can like use it quickly and put the data, because when I'm about to do things with Safari, I'm about to search google.com. And so now in Safari, my history is going to have google.com in it. That's some data, right? That is some data that's now associated with Safari. So program 1 goes here, or program 1 goes there. And so that's Google search. I just said Google. That is now part of the history, and that's some data that goes and stored with Safari. And so now when Safari leaves my RAM, the data so the program is going to leave, and also the data associated with that program will leave and be stored back in memory where it was at, right? So that's cool. That is real cool. So that's what's really happening when the program starts. What's really happening is a signal, the operating system sends off a signal to your CPU that says, yo, an icon was just clicked on. That icon was named Safari. Well, the CPU then says, okay, I'm going to take that name Safari and search all the way through my hard drive, and I'm going to find Safari. And once I find Safari, I'm going to I'm going to copy all of its contents. So when I say loading means to copy all of the instructions, to copy the data. I'm going to copy that because we don't want to physically remove it from this place. We want to still keep it there. Because like, what if our system turns off? and then all our data is lost. So we still want to keep it inside the long-term memory, right? And so we all we do is just copy that information over to our short-term memory, and now we got that information, those instructions and that data over in our short-term memory for us to interact with really quickly. That is what happens. And so it took a second to load because all that stuff was processing, all that copying was happening, all those instructions, follow this instruction, follow this instruction. Because not only do you have to copy the stuff, copy the instructions from the SD or SSD to the RAM, once you have copied those instructions, now you have to start executing those instructions line by line. And those instructions says, okay, bounce the Safari thing up and down. Then it says, all right, open up a window, and which it did. Then it says, all right, now load this bar at the top at the window, then load this main part of the screen into the window, and then add these little parts into it. Like that's it. If someone had to write all of that, and not only did they have to write all of that, someone had to write the styling for that. Like now style the window up like this. Like you had to write every single thing in the computer. You cannot take any shortcuts. You have to write it out like what you need the computer to do every single step of the way. And that's what happens when we execute, when we start running programs. We're really telling the computer, go to our long-term memory, copy the instructions for that program, for that procedure, and the data to our RAM so that we can start using it. And once you copied it, start executing those instructions, and those instructions typically manipulate the data that's also associated with it. That's what's really happening when we double click on icons, when we run programs, either on a phone, in a laptop, on a computer, like wherever. This is what's happening. Yes, your computer is a computer, or your phone is a computer too. And so you learn for real, over the last couple videos, what's really happening in a computer and in a human. Like this shit is really the same thing. And you can really learn how to program not only your computer but yourself for a better life, for a happier life, for less stress and whatnot. You can start finding different algorithms in life to store in your long-term memory and be able to retrieve whenever you need it in hard times, just as a computer programmer can write real nice, let's say, bug fixing code and store it inside of the computer. And whenever we need to fix some bugs, we just run that program and it will fix the bugs for us, right? It's the same thing, y'all. We tapped in. It's like, understand what we doing with this. This is real. Computer science. Once again, Bill Gates said, or not Bill Gates, Steve Jobs. I'm saying Bill Gates this whole time. Steve Jobs said that computer science teaches you how to think. Once again, computer science, Nate Baker says computer science teaches us how we think, teaches us how we are already set up, teaches us how our mental is set up, how our bodies are set up, and how data is processed inside of a human. We can take that and do some real cool things with computers when we extend that knowledge over to a computer. I'll see y'all in the next video, man. It's your boy Street Coder Nate. Drop a like, a subscribe, shoot a comment. Let me know how I'm doing, man. Give me some conversation. These some real good videos. Like I said, I'm a spiritual person, but at the same time who understands computers and understand that God is the ultimate programmer, and I'm just trying to be like him. So I'm gonna get with y'all in the next video. I'll see y'all then. Deuces.